Hey party people, it's Lycona Dacheechee, and today we're gonna go over the basics of the market board. Now, most likely you already know what the market board is. It's basically the place where you go to buy and sell items in game. Well, technically it's the place where you go to buy items. A little bit more on that later. Market boards can be found in all the major cities and the residential areas. To access any market board, simply go up to one, click on it, and the item search window will pop up. The interface is pretty straightforward. Starting at the top left, we have the search box, followed by weapons, armors, items, and housing items, a favorites, a wish list, and starting from the top right, we have a sort items by parameters button. We have the window where items are displayed, their demand represented by this little heart, and how many of that item is being sold. The market board can only display up to 100 items at a time, so these arrows at the bottom will let you cycle through multiple pages. To help find a specific item that you want, go up here to the search bar and type in the item that you're looking for. One thing to note is that the spelling of the item must be exactly the same, or else the item won't show up in your search. Now, by selecting the partial match button, you can type in any part of the item name and it'll show up. Once you've found your item, click on it and another window will pop up that shows the list prices for each unit, the quantity, the total price, and the retainer name that is selling the item. Up in the top right corner of this window, we have the history button. This will show you all of the recent transactions, the sale price, as well as the dates in which the last items were sold. You can use this information here to see if you're getting a good deal, as well as to see how much demand there is for the item. Next to that button is the advanced search filter. You can filter out the items you want to see displayed, such as display only high quality items or gear that has materia attached to it. The favorites button down here is where you can add the items you regularly purchase, so you don't have to search for them again and again. Next to that, there's your wish list button that brings up all the things you want to purchase. To add an item to your wish list or favorites list, just right click on the item and select add to favorites or add to wish list. One thing to note here is that your wish list data will be cleared when all worlds go down for maintenance. When you're browsing through items, sometimes you'll see a little heart next to that item. This means that other people have put that item on their wish list. You'll also notice that when you select an item, there will be a demand number in the top right corner. This is how many people have put that item on their wish list. To sell items on the market board, you'll need to unlock and access your retainers through any summoning bell. Retainers are unlocked after completing the main scenario story quest, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Retainers are the only way to sell items on the market board. You can unlock them by talking to the retainer vocate in any city. Your character gets 2 retainers for free, and then for each additional retainer, you'll have to purchase them with real-life money via your Final Fantasy Mog Station account. You can have up to 7 additional retainers. Select a retainer and then click on either the Sell Items in your inventory on the market or Sell Items in your retainer's inventory on the market. 2 windows will appear. One is the market board window and the other is your inventory. When you drag an item from your inventory to the market window, the Adjust Price window will appear. In the top right-hand corner, we have the Compare Prices button where we can check the market board prices for the item that we want to sell. The asking price is the price at which you want to sell just one item, and the quantity is how many items you want to sell. You'll see the total price below as well as the tax to be collected when your item sells. One thing to note is that when the Adjust Price window opens, an asking price is always entered in automatically. This is the price of the item if you were to sell that item to an NPC. You can always check the NPC price by looking at the item's information window. There will also be items that will be grayed out in your inventory. These items cannot be sold on the market board. Once you've set your asking price and quantity, hit the confirm and your retainer will mark that item for sale. If you want to change or cancel your sale, right-click on the item and choose Adjust Price or Return Items to Inventory. Now, at this moment, your item is not on the market board just yet. Your item only gets placed on the market board when you're done talking to your retainer. You'll then get a pop-up dialog that says your retainer is now selling items in the markets. Now you can log out, go do content, and your items will be on the market board for some lucky buyer. Something that you have to do periodically is that you have to check your retainers about once every 7 days in order to keep all the items they're selling on the market board. You can tell when your items are popping off the market boards once you check the little date at the bottom of the retainer selection window. When someone purchases an item you put up for sale, the gil goes to your retainer, not to your character. You'll have to speak with your retainer who sold the item and withdraw the gil via the gil transfer window. Each retainer can sell up to 20 unique items on the market board. Each retainer also sells items from a city-state that you assign them. Now, it doesn't matter which city your retainers sell your items in. However, if you want to go hard on selling stuff and save all the gil that you can, then we gotta talk about taxes. If you talk to the retainer Vocate, you can select View Market Rates. It'll then show the cities that have lower taxes. This means that if your retainer is selling items in a city where there's reduced tax rates, then you pay less fees when your item sells on the market board. If you want to move your retainer to a more favorable market, simply teleport to the city you want to move your retainer to, talk to the retainer Vocate, and select Dispatch a Retainer to the city. Now your retainer will sell items in that city with a reduced tax rate. If you don't want to mess around with the market board prices, or it's just not worth selling an item on the market board because there's little demand or too low of a price, you can always have your retainers sell the item immediately. It's the same as selling the item to an NPC, but it's just a little bit more convenient. Right-click on the item you want to sell in your inventory and select Have Retainer Sell Items. If you've accidentally made a mistake, you can always select the item buyback and get your item back. Just be careful not to quit out of the retainer or else the buyback window will clear and those items will be gone forever. So now that we know a little bit more about how the market boards work, here's a screenshot that inspired me to make this video about the market board. Can you tell what's wrong here? I'll give you a few moments. See the selling price on the clear Demi Materia 3 here? It's going for 4,765 gil on the market board, but its selling price is 5,000 gil. So you're putting it on the market board for less than what you would actually make if you were to just sell it to an NPC. You're just losing gil. Now, remember that number that gets automatically placed into the asking price box? That's the price at which the item sells at. So there's no point in selling an item below that price. Just sell your item via a retainer or an NPC and you're all good to go. Every item's information window will have their selling price or market board prohibited right here. Just take a look at those small details so you're not missing out on getting more gil. Well, I hope you got some knowledge about how the market board works in Final Fantasy XIV. So until next time, make all that gil and keep on adventuring.